All right, let's get something straight right from the start. Forget your haunted houses, forget rattling chains. We're not talking about ghosts today. No, tonight we're going somewhere much darker, a kind of terror that doesn't hide in the shadows, but in the vast, empty spaces, and deep inside the human mind.
This one line from Algernon Blackwood's incredible story The Willows is our doorway in, and honestly, it says it all. This isn't horror about something invading our world. It's about us accidentally stumbling into a place where the barrier protecting our reality is weak, a place where we are the ones who don't belong.
So who is the guy behind this special kind of dread? Algernon Blackwood. He was an English writer, one of the greats of weird and supernatural fiction. But if you just call his work ghost stories, you're completely missing the point. He wasn't really interested in the spirits of the dead. He was fascinated by the terrifying potential of the living mind. In fact, Blackwood himself said his goal was to explore an expansion of normal consciousness. See, for him, horror wasn't a monster jumping out of a closet. The horror was your own mind being stretched, forced open, to see a truth about the universe so huge and so alien that it could literally break you.
To really get this, we've got to take a trip into his most famous story, The Willows. It was written way back in 1907, and it starts simply enough. Two friends on a canoe trip down the Danube River. But as they drift into this huge, isolated maze of islands covered in willows, their little adventure starts to change into something else, something terrifying.
At first, the place is just stunning. Blackwood calls it a place of bewildering beauty. The willows aren't just trees. They're described like a living, breathing ocean of green and silver, always moving. The whole landscape feels alive, but in a beautiful, almost mesmerizing way.
And then the first little hint of wrongness creeps in. That feeling of the land being alive starts to go sour. It's not just the wind anymore. The narrator gets this curious illusion that the very island under him is shifting. All that beauty starts to feel, well, predatory. And this is where the atmosphere gets really heavy. That creepy feeling is no longer just an illusion. It's a certainty. The narrator is hit with this powerful sense that something awful is about to happen. He can't see it, he can't explain it, but he knows in his gut that disaster is on its way.
And this is the core of Blackwood's genius. The river, the willows, the wind, all of that is just the stage. The real horror, the real fight, isn't against some monster out there in the bushes. It's a war for your own sanity.
You see, in the willows, the strange forces of this place aren't trying to eat their bodies. They're trying to devour their minds. The story completely shifts from a survival adventure to this intense, internal struggle against a psychic invasion. This quote just lays it all out. The narrator realizes, with this dawning terror, that the danger isn't the river or some wild animal. The attack is aimed at their consciousness. And think about that for a second. How do you fight an enemy that just bypasses all your senses and goes straight for your thoughts?
And we watch this battle play out between the two men. The narrator, he's basically us. He's trying to be logical, trying to dismiss it all as just a fantasy of the night. But his friend, the Swede, he's a bit more sensitive to this stuff. He knows the danger's real, and their only defense isn't a weapon, it's mental control. It's to control our thoughts. Well, you can only try to rationalize things for so long. The pressure keeps building until finally the veil is ripped away, forcing the characters, and us, to stare right into something truly incomprehensible. This is where it all comes to a head. Man, this is the moment the bottom just falls out. The narrator tries one last time to say it's all in his head, and his companion just unleashes on him with this absolutely bone-chilling line. He's not just saying the danger is real. He's changing their entire status. They are not adventurers anymore. They are victims. And then we get the big reveal. What is this force? It's not ghosts, it's not demons. It's something totally, completely alien. Beings from some other reality whose space just happens to overlap with ours right here. And the most terrifying part? They don't hate humanity. We are so insignificant to them, we aren't even worth hating. We're just in their way.
And once they understand the true horror, this final cry just perfectly captures their absolute helplessness. They're trapped, not just on an island, but in a vast, indifferent dimension that doesn't want them there. There's no escape, because the monster is the entire landscape.
The Willows is so much more than a story. It's basically a founding document for what we now call cosmic horror.
I mean, H.P. Lovecraft himself said it was the single greatest weird tale ever written. Blackwood's real legacy was this massive shift, moving fear away from human things towards something so much bigger and scarier.
The thing that makes Blackwood's stories so unsettling is that they plant this seed of doubt in your mind, that our reality is just a paper-thin illusion. They hint that if you wander into the wrong place, a place where that veil is thin, you might just catch a glimpse of the true, monstrous universe operating underneath it all.
So, we've paddled down the Danube, we've looked into the abyss. What's the final takeaway? What do we learn from this descent into darkness?
This quote, though it's from another one of his stories, really feels like his final message. If our own minds can be a battleground, if our thoughts can be weaponized against us, then the most important skill we could ever have is control over our own consciousness. Our inner world is absolutely everything.
For its incredible atmosphere, its deep psychological horror, and for pretty much inventing a new kind of dread, The Willows is a true landmark of the genre. Our final grade is a 9 out of 10. This isn't a book you just read, it's a place you visit. And trust me, it will haunt you long after you've left.
Now, if you want to explore some other places where that veil is worn thin, I highly recommend The House on the Borderland by William Hope Hodgson. It is just pure cosmic madness. And also check out The Great Godpan by Arthur Machen for more on those terrifying hidden realities.
And that's it for this explainer. If you enjoyed this journey to the very edge of consciousness, you know what to do. Be sure to follow and subscribe for more deep dives into the ideas that shape our world. We'll see you next time.